Greetings from the United States-Mexico border here in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, Arizona. Right across the border zone, you can see vehicles moving along Mexico Highway 2. I've come to the westernmost end of the road here in the National Monument, and then hiked out 1 mile along the Border Patrol Road. You can see the barricade between the United States and Mexico. Not much of a fence, just these pillars and 2 layers of barbed wire. You could probably climb over this pretty easily without even snagging on any of the wire there, just by putting your foot up here, standing and jumping. Kind of a surprise to see how thin the border fortification is here. It's no wonder that certain politicians are calling for a real wall to be erected all the way along the border. This is really not much of a deterrent for pedestrians. Now, obviously, it's built to protect from any vehicles trying to illegally cross the border. There's a little bit of a no man's land here, maybe 20 or 30 yards. And then those white posts are a small Mexican fence, just with looks like a couple strands of barbed wire going that way. So pretty porous border here for sure. But it's kind of amazing. Mexico too really just hugs the border here. That truck is heading westbound. Seen lots of trucks moving along this corridor. So time to head back to the car and get back to the main road, Arizona 85, and then I have one more scenic dirt road I'd like to take today, and then in about 2.5 hours it'll be sunset already, since Arizona for some unknown reason does not observe daylight savings time, so sundown is around 6:10 instead of the 7:10 that it should be, which is really annoying when you're out visiting national parks and monuments like I am, to have that 1 less hour of daylight. So that's quite a tall cactus there. But I actually haven't seen any of the rare Oregon pipe cacti yet, so named because they kind of grow out with like 20 different arms or something like that, and semi-resemble an Oregon. There's some cacti in no man's land, but it's interesting to come out for a walk here along the border. Well, that's an interesting cactus there, and very tall. Not an Oregon pipe though. I'm still waiting to spot one of those. Alright, well, I hope you've enjoyed a visit to the US-Mexico border here in some of the Sonoran Desert in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument. It is a beautiful day today after several days of clouds and heavy rain due to this ex-tropical storm that blew up from the Gulf of California and inland. Finally sunny and blue sky today, and a little warm, 87 degrees I think was the last reading from my vehicle's dashboard, but for the desert not too bad. It is October 4th, 2018, 3:49 p.m. Hello, it is 4:24 p.m., Thursday, October 4th, 2018. I am in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument in southern Arizona and driving along one of the dirt roads in the west section of the park. Now heading eastbound back toward the main road, Arizona 85. Now paralleling the Mexican border, just off to the right is the small border fence and about a 20 or 30 yard no man's land, and then a small Mexican border fence. And right on the other side of that fence is Mexico Highway 2. Here you can get a look at the border fence and the border patrol road there, and that red car moving along the highway, that is Mexico Highway 2. So here is the border right here. U.S. Border Patrol. I have seen probably 10 or 12 Border Patrol vehicles today as I made my way south from Scottsdale near Phoenix. I went west first along I-10 and then south on Arizona 85 down here to the National Monument. And driving out westbound on this road, I saw, I think, 3 or 4 Border Patrol vehicles who had passed me going the other direction, and one that was behind me, and then I think turned off to go on the patrol road. So very heavy presence of Border Patrol in the monument here. And there are several signs throughout the National Monument warning visitors to be on the lookout for illegal immigration and drug smuggling. I have not seen anything like that. Just a whole bunch of Border Patrol agents driving around. And again, we can see the border fence right there to the right. Surprisingly small, could be hopped over by a person quite easily. It looks like it's more intended to prevent vehicle crossings than human crossings. I can understand seeing that, why certain politicians would call for erection of a real border wall, because that is not much of a barrier toward illegal immigration by flood. Oh, sorry, here, this bouncy road is shaking my phone holder all over the place. This is South Porto Blanco Drive, by the way. South Porto Blanco Drive. There's a nice looking cactus coming up here. One of the taller ones that I've seen. Turnoff where you can literally drive right up to the border fence and take a look at the patrol road. You've enjoyed this look at the Mexican border here in Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, Arizona. Time is now 4:38. Wow, I just passed several Border Patrol agents right here on the road, just a few yards from the border fence. And they had about, I think it was 4 men sitting down on the dirt. Presumably illegal immigrants just captured. Kind of surprising to see that right here, just a few yards in from the border fence. You'd have to have pretty bad luck if you were an illegal immigrant and you hop the fence and there just happened to be a Border Patrol agent driving by at that very moment, and you couldn't even make it more than 20 yards into the United States. Although I suppose it's also possible that they were caught further inland here in Oregon, Pipe Cactus National Monument, and the Border Patrol agents hiked them out to the road here for pickup. It's definitely a possibility. I'm just sad that I wasn't filming. I stopped my last video maybe 2 minutes before I went by this scene. And I kind of want to drive back and get it on video, but that would probably look a little suspicious to the agents there. So I guess you'll just have to believe my eyewitness account. Ooh. Jeez. So, wow. Well, that's definitely some excitement to actually see what are presumably some illegal immigrants captured here in the National Monument. I can't imagine trying to hike through this desert to get dozens and dozens of miles north beyond all the Border Patrol checkpoints where you could try to then be picked up for a ride into Phoenix or Tucson. It's just really hard to imagine. The border is going to climb the hill ahead, you can see there. And the road is going to make a left and go around that hill. Okay, I don't know if I got it. I just had started up the video again as another Border Patrol vehicle went by. So that's 2 that have come by since I passed what appeared to be the agents with the likely illegal immigrants sitting on the side of the road. There was only, looked like only about 4 of them though, so it shouldn't require too many vehicles to transport them to the station for processing. But this is definitely a heavily patrolled dirt road here in the Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, being right along the border. Now, we have come a little bit inland from the border as it went up over the hill to my right, and it looked like as it started to go up over the hill, it transitioned from the small anti-vehicle metal fence to an actual tall anti-pedestrian fence, which is interesting because I guess we're getting a little bit closer to the official border crossing, and also the Mexican town of, I think it's Sonautia, that sits just across from the tiny village of Lukeville, Arizona, which is here on the border in the National Monument. So hopefully I'll be getting back to Arizona 85 soon, because I want to go up and do one more scenic dirt road, and we've only got about an hour and a half until sunset, since Arizona does not observe daylight saving time. High up on that hill now. Border Patrol vehicle approaching from my right here. Just missed it on camera. It's now pulling behind me. Must have come from the patrol road. about half a mile north of the border crossing. So take a quick spin down there, let you see the Lukeville port of entry, and then I'll turn around and head back up north to the second scenic drive, which is called the Ajo Mountain Drive. And I don't know if you can quite see it. No, but there's a sign right there that says International Border 1 mile. And Arizona Scenic Byway. Milepost 80 entering Lukeville. Looks like there may be a backup at the port of entry here. Alright, well, I'm not going to waste time sitting in this line. There goes Border Patrol around the backup. Here comes another Border Patrol. Alright, when I came down here a couple hours ago, there was not a long line like this to cross over. So I guess you're not going to actually get to see the border posts. But heading north now on Arizona 85, the main road north-south through the National Monument, speed limit 65. There's a sign there commemorating Arizona's centennial. Actually, that's just the Grand Canyon State welcomes you, and then up ahead is the sign commemorating the centennial of Arizona statehood, 1912 to 2012. Alright, so I'll cruise up a little bit and hit the next scenic drive.